So I have not won a trade in over 2 weeks. The last time I actually won on a trade was January 8th. It's currently January 27th, so it's been a really long time. So I'm gonna explain to you guys the mindset that's keeping me strong through times like this and the mindset that you guys should have as well. So there's tons of value. Make sure you stay to the end, but let's get right into it. Now, first, before we go any further, I wanted to find there's two separate situations. I want to figure out which one you're in, right? So, first, do you actually have a strategy you 100% know works over time? Like, do you have data backing up your strategy? You have like a journal from the past like 3 months, and you're like, oh yeah, well, like I have an approximate like 60% win rate, and my risk to reward is approximate like 1 to 1.5, and you have all these statistics backing up your trading. Okay, that's good. You're following a model, and if you're executing it the way you did in past time, nothing's changed, you're good, right? I'm going to give you advice. You can move forward. But I want to preface with if you don't have any statistics backing up your strategy, right? Like if I ask you, what's your approximate win rate? What's your approximate risk reward? And you can't answer questions like that, that should be a red flag, right? Like you should be able to tell me what your approximate win rate is, your approximate risk to reward, how much data you've tested your strategy over. Like, because most of the successful traders, you'll ask them questions like that, and they'll say, "Oh yeah, well I tested my strategy over a whole year, and I knew that some months it might have not performed the best, but I know certain months it also performs well, and over the long term it evens out, and I know an approximate win rate, approximate risk to reward, right?" So if you're in that second camp I mentioned, first, you really got to find a strategy you 100% have trust in. Because if you don't have a strategy that works over time, everything I'm going to say from here on out means absolutely nothing, right? I'm going to give you all these psychology tips, but if you're not following a strategy you know actually works over time, there's no point in working on your mindset, right? But if you are actually a good trader, you know that you have a strategy that works, now we're going to proceed to the important part. So since we were just talking about statistics, that's going to bring me on to my next point. You have to have a statistic point of view from the market all times. So essentially what that means is your strategy. Let's say if you tell me your strategy has a 65, a 70% win rate, right? So that means when you lose, you should not be getting upset. You should not be saying, why did this happen? Because if all of your entry criteria is met, you have to remember, it's going to be easier for me to do math like this. Let's say if you have a 70% win rate, right? When you take 10 trades, 3 of those trades are still going to be losers, because you got to remind yourself losers are part of a winning statistic, because no trading strategy works 100% of the time. And I say this like all the time, but it's just so important because people sometimes message me and they're like, Tim, why did this setup fail? I'm like, you know what? Like, honestly, like when I say this setup is going to work 9 times out of 10, there's a reason I say this setup's going to work 9 times out of 10. Even if everything is perfectly aligned, like if I were to explain to you every entry criteria I could possibly want and give myself the perfect setup, like nothing is guaranteed in the market, right? Like I say it wins 9 times out of 10 because perfect conditions, there's still a small chance it might not win, right? So like you got to review trades over the longer scale, right? And I feel like that's just something people get out of their mind. And another thing that's going to bring me into my next point is there's something called a recency bias. And essentially what that means is your brain is going to hold the data most recently available to it, like with utmost importance or significance, essentially, right? So like essentially, right? So like I'll use me as an example, right? So I have my top step statistics on my other monitor over here, right? So I'm going to put up a picture on screen of how I traded in December. So I did take those last 2 weeks of December off because I just view the end of the year, like Christmas, New Year price action isn't the best. So as you can see here, though, I performed absolutely amazing in December. Absolutely amazing. This is like if I could have results like this every month, I'd be set. Now I'm going to move on to January, right? So I'll put it up on screen right now. So January, you can see, I mean, there's no other way to put it, right? I'm getting absolutely cooked. I had one break-even day. I had a winning day. And from here, it's only losses from here on out. I mean, technically the 15th really should be break-even. That was a little bit of user error there. But it's essentially like that's 4 losses. And I even took another loss on my Alpha Futures account. So that's like 5 losses in 2 weeks with no wins. So it's like my brain right now is kind of telling me like negative things. Again, like it's saying, oh damn, are we sure you're still a good trader? Like, are you sure we shouldn't do more testing? And it's like I have to remind myself that I'm viewing my trading over the longer scale. Like if we zoom out here, I'm still up as a net, right? Like the only reason these accounts are down is because I took a payout. And if I didn't take a payout, I'd kind of have like more of a buffer, if that makes sense. But I mean, yeah, I mean like your no trading model wins 100% of the time. And You can always think. I'm not saying don't try to learn from your experiences. I'm not saying think you know everything and say, oh yeah, well I win X percent of the time. There's nothing else I can do. Like obviously, yeah, try to improve. Like one of the things that could be taken as a takeaway from this for me is if we look at the weekly chart of the Nasdaq. But I'll give you guys a screenshot of the weekly NASDAQ chart, right? NASDAQ has been consolidating a lot. And my strategy, which I trade inverse fair value gaps, I mean, if you want to see me explain my strategy from A to Z, I'm going to put a link on the screen somewhere. Great video with tons of sauce. But my strategy works a lot better in trending market conditions, like I trade inversions, right? So right now we're not really in trending market conditions, like higher time frame we're consolidating. So that's an area where I know my strategy underperforms. Am I saying my strategy works the best in this time period? No, I'm saying that when we combine trending market conditions, consolidating market conditions, all the different market conditions available over the course of the year, when I combine those, if I keep executing the same way day in and day out, I know it's going to offer me an edge over the market. And also, one other thing is, so I'm talking about with recency bias, right? So I'm saying, obviously, don't think you know everything, but try to a point, say, okay, well, if I zoom out, I've been making money month over month. It's just this right here is a bad month. And if we do journaling, if I do like review of my past trades, if I'm still executing in a way I'm proud of, there's not really much to do here. So what I do to restore my confidence, like obviously I have a lot of experience as a trader. I've been through many losing periods. This is absolutely nothing new to me. So like obviously you'll get thicker skin as you go on, but one thing that really helps me is like I use a software called FX Replay that allows me to backtest. So I can go back to any time, like such as like 2023. I can replay it minute by minute, trade it as if it's live time, and I can backtest like 6 months of price action over the course of like a couple of days, right? So I can get a bunch of data backing up my strategy. So one, I can go out and I can backtest my strategy. I can remind myself that if I trade my strategy over the course of a month, like, oh yeah, I can see this strategy actually does work. So one, I can give myself proof of concept in live time. As well as the other thing is, I've done many backtesting sessions in the past. So I can review my data from my backtesting sessions and I can look and say, oh, well, you know what? It was very infrequent that I had a red month. And unless it gets to a point where I'm like losing month over month over month, like maybe then you can start saying like market conditions changed. Maybe you should start adapting your strategy. Maybe you're not executing properly. Essentially, you should do some deeper digging if you're losing month over month and that didn't happen in backtesting. But essentially, if you're getting the same results you got in your backtesting that contribute to your winning statistic, I feel like reminding yourself of that and seeing the big picture right in front of you is something that'll really restore your confidence. So essentially, review your old trades that show you that your trading strategy actually has an edge, and also do some backtesting to remind yourself that you actually have an edge over the market, right? And one last thing to tag on here, I feel like it also helps if trading isn't the biggest thing in your life and the only thing you care about. Because me personally, when I'm only thinking about trading and like I care about it so much and I'm trading in the morning and my results dictate the rest of my day, right? And it's like, oh, I need to make this trading stuff work ASAP and I'm beating myself up. I feel like when I've been in that type of mindset, I feel like that's when I've performed worst as a trader. Because I always talk about when you put additional pressure on yourself that you need to perform, I feel like it causes negative performance as a trader. It's like you start forcing setups, you start behaving emotionally, your judgment starts getting messed up and you can't think as clearly, right? And like I always use the analogy where like if you walk over a really small beam, if let's say you're 2 feet up in the air and there's pads everywhere, that's a really easy task. But if I make you walk over that exact beam and you're 1,000 feet up in the air and you know if you fall, you know what's going to happen, right? So it's like obviously you're going to start getting lightheaded, you're going to start sweating, your body's going to start doing all these things to you where it's like you're doing the exact same task, you're just thinking about what is at stake here, and your mind is, it's like these natural biological like evolutionary things that aren't beneficial to you as a trader, right? It's like, oh, I know what's at stake here, so I'm like getting all tense and doing that, but you don't want to start doing that. You want to think clearly as a trader, right? So essentially just find a way to experience victories outside the chart, right? Get in the gym, do long distance runs, pick up a hobby, start forming fulfilling like social bonds with your friends, and start talking to girls. Maybe if you're a guy, or if you're a girl, maybe start talking to guys, right? Maybe get a partner. I don't know what exactly that means to you, but eventually you got to start finding a way to find success outside the charts. And then once trading is kind of like a secondary, not like a secondary thing, like obviously trading does take a lot of effort, but it just can't be your number one main priority in life that's dictating how you think about yourself. It can't be dictating how your days go, your mood, right? just essentially be detached from trading the most you can be. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But to wrap up here, I'm just going to give you guys a conclusion of everything I just said. So first, you want to remind yourself that you do have an edge over the market over time, right? You've proven yourself this either through journaling your trades over a long period of time, you've done back testing over an extended period of time, but essentially you know your strategy works. That's not a thing we should be questioning here, right? So you want to remember, okay, I already have the statistic proven to me, so I shouldn't start questioning it. Two, I got to view things over the longer scale, and then so how am I going to regain my confidence in this, right? I'm going to regain my confidence by doing back testing. I'm essentially going to review my back testing results that I've already proven myself this strategy works. And I'm also going to do back testing so I can show myself, hey, tonight I back tested 3 weeks, and over the course of 3 weeks, I came out profitable, so I can give myself proof of concept in real time. And also, you just want to find something to do outside of trading. You don't want trading to be your number one priority because you don't want to put too much pressure on your trading. So essentially, bottom line here, you can't be too tunnel vision on the moment, right? Your brain does this thing called a recency bias, so it thinks, oh, I keep losing, but it's like, no, you took a couple losses and they're clustered, but if we zoom out here over the longer scale, you still make money, right? Losing streaks are common in every winning statistic, right? No matter how good you get at trading, like losing streaks are something you're never gonna be able to avoid. Like I'm literally coming from my biggest winning streak into one of my biggest losing streaks back to back. Is that going to mean I think, oh, I suck at trading? Like, no, I just accomplished something amazing. I went 4 weeks without taking one losing day. Like, that's absolutely amazing. Like, yeah, I'm taking losses, but I made more money than I lost overall, right? I'm viewing things over a longer scale. And also, if you didn't know what I use to backtest, I use a software called FX Replay. I'm going to put the link down below as well as my discount code, which is code TINB272. It's going to get you 15% off FX Replay. I highly recommend them. I personally have been using FX Replay for like over 2 years now. I think the ability to test like 6 months of price action over the course of a couple weeks is honestly invaluable. If I were to have actually gone out and forward tested all the stuff I've tested, it would have taken me absolutely forever. So honestly, seriously, go check out FX Replay. And also, if you're looking for prop firm to trade with, my favorite prop firm is Alpha Futures. I'm going to put the link to them down below as well as my discount code, which is code TINB272. It's going to get you 10% off all valuations, or if they have some better discount going on, it'll get you that as well. But one of the reasons I love Alpha Futures is they also run Alpha Prime, which is an actual trading floor in London, and they also run ACG Markets, which is an actual regulated brokerage in the UK. So I feel like the team of people running it is just amazing. And you can actually look on their website and there's people there with their financial licenses. Like not many prop firms can say they're run by people that have financial licenses that also have experience running other things like this. And they also run a Forex prop firm called Alpha Capital Group. So essentially, they are one of the best prop firms. Like if you look at the zero plan, which has no activation fee, that's the plan I recommend the most at Alpha. It's $99 for the 50K account all in. And if you use my discount code, which is code TINB272, that'll bring it down to like $90 essentially. So $90 all in for 50K is a great opportunity. And the 100K is essentially like double that, right? So it's normally $199 after discount. It'll be like approximately $180 after using discount code TINB272. So I highly recommend checking out Alpha. But yeah, that was pretty much it. So if you guys watch this video all the way through, I really appreciate you. I hope you found some value from this video. Also, I would really appreciate it if you could give me a like, put a comment down below, and also subscribe. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.